Chef Eric here from Kamado Joe. Kamado Joe. So this is one of my favorite summertime dishes, and it is a side dish, okay? But I am here to say that a side dish should no longer be treated as a side dish, all right? This is a main for me with just a couple of different twists to it. This is a goose fat bacon grilled potato salad, okay? And we're gonna use these wonderful waxy potatoes, and we'll get into more information about them. We're gonna render out some bacon, get the grease going, and then we're gonna knock in some of this beautiful red onion. If you try to fry a waxy potato as a French fry, it's got so much sugar content in it. It's got so much sugar content in it that it's going to have streaks throughout, and you're never going to get that nice, firm shape, crispy on the outside. Interestingly enough, when you refrigerate a potato, and I think it's 54 degrees. When it's 54 degrees or lower, the starch will actually turn to sugar. So do not refrigerate your potatoes. It takes about 2 weeks to get the starch content to revert back, or vice versa. So do not refrigerate your potatoes. Keep them out of the sun, and we're going to use waxy potatoes when boiling or trying to keep a shape. Beautiful. So for this cook, we're going to start our grill grates at the top part of the divide and conquer system. And, okay, this is going to be a lit up cook. So we're going to start with our Le Creuset pan here, and we're just going to start getting a little bit of heat. Once that warms up a touch, we're going to knock in our bacon and start rendering that out nice and slow.
It's a purty pan.
It's a purty pan. It's about to get a lot purtier. So this is some Monroe sausage bacon. Monroe meats bacon, and I love this stuff. They're out of Beatrice, Alabama. Let's talk about the potatoes too. So, you know, we'll give a couple tips throughout, but these are waxy potatoes. Now, summertime is a beautiful thing for me. The smaller, the better on these things. Okay, they're beautiful. They're sweet. This is probably one of my favorite ingredients throughout the history, my culinary history, right? A new potato, a new small potato is just an absolute beautiful thing. And I went ahead and boiled these. I could have roasted them, but I want a high moisture content in this, so I went ahead and boiled them. And let me show you just with this one. I'll break this one open. Okay, so you can see they're nice and cooked. And this is going to be our grilled potato salad. We're going to pick up some smoke from the natural lump charcoal, which is going to be a lot of fun in this potato salad. This is one that I actually make. I double the recipe in hopes that there's going to be leftovers because it's that freaking good. And this is one of those recipes too that's always better the second day. It's one of those things. There's recipes out there that are better the second day. A lot of soups, sometimes lasagnas, potato salad. Give it time to drink up that vinegar and that mustard and that goose fat and that bacon second day. So if I'm making this to take over to somebody's house, I'm definitely on the down low doubling this recipe. Look at all that fond getting stuck to the bottom of the pan. When we put our onions in there, that's gonna just kind of coat those onions. They're gonna help pull that off a little bit. These two pieces are about where I want them. This is my favorite part. Check this out. Come on in. When I flip it, the bubbles that are on the new flip side. So these guys are done. We're going to transfer these over to our cutting board. Let the air hit them, let it crisp up a little bit. All right, next we're going to go in with our red onions. You can use shallots as well. I didn't have any, so we're going to use the red onion. And just move it around. We're not looking for color on these onions. We just want to kind of start the process where it's drinking up some of that fond on the bottom, sweating in the baking fat. Remember, we're using those luscious little new potatoes. Again, the smaller the better. You can roast these, or you can boil them and put them in, and we're gonna scruff here in just a moment. It's time to add one of the main ingredients, goose fat. Now, some of you out there might be saying, isn't that a little overkill? Didn't you just put all that bacon fat in there? Yeah, we did. Yeah, absolutely. It's my recipe. Something about duck fat or goose fat brings a decadentness, a lushness to it that the bacon just doesn't provide. It's going to carry over the salty nature and the smoky nature from the bacon, but it just adds a mouthfeel. It's another layer. It's a beautiful thing. I grew up with goose fat, so it's just one of those memories that I hold near and dear. And these starches are just going to start drinking that up. I'm going to take my tongs and I'm going to start busting up or scruffing some of these potatoes in the center. And again, you just want to hit about 25% of them. And the potato particulate that's released here as we continue to toss it is going to really suck up all the flavors and amplify by sticking to the outside of the non-scruffed potatoes. You'll see what I mean. So while we're letting this come to temperature, let's go ahead and make our dressing. Not a huge fan of doing a bunch of dishes, so I'm going to use this little thing that we had the red onions in, going with a little bit of sugar, salt, apple cider vinegar, and Dijon mustard. And instead of getting a whisk, we use a North Carolina backyard whisk here. Shake, shake, shake. That's a beautiful little sauce right there, okay? And just like that, this recipe is about 90% done, okay? So let's take the dressing that we just made and pour it right over those potatoes. And now you can start to see how those scruffed up potatoes are gonna drink up the power of that dressing. And we're just gonna scruff it up a little more because I just wanna cover all those beautiful potatoes. So while we're letting this simmer, I'm gonna close the lid and I'm gonna let some of that natural lump charcoal flavor kind of adhere to the surface area. Let's put a little fresh cracked pepper in there first. Always fresh cracked. Lid down. Control tower completely open. All right, so we're at a situation here where the draft door is completely open and the control tower is completely open. This is going to ramp our temperature up to probably about 400 degrees. Well, we've got another 6-7 minutes, and we're going to pull it off, top with our scallions and our bacon. Almost there, team. You're doing great. Yes.
Those look crazy good, Eric.
Yeah, that's
Smells amazing.
Look at those bubbles. You know, that starch that's gotten in there is just kind of thickened things up a little bit. It's like that old school way of thickening a soup, you know, either using overcooked pureed rice or overcooked potatoes and blitzing it in there, and it just makes for a great mouthfeel. Well, all that fat content and that dressing and the starch and the sugar content from those potatoes has just made this. I mean, get real close up in there. You can see the particulate and the viscosity is just absolutely gorgeous. Now, this is a potato salad that's served best room temperature or warm. So if you do refrigerate it, you're going to want to bring it out about 30 minutes and let it start to kind of knock some of that cool off. Because you can imagine the fat content coating your tongue. You want it to at least be room temperature. Let's go ahead and pull this off and garnish. We're going to chop our bacon. Not too small. You want to be able to see it. As soon as I think I've got enough scallions, I go a little more. Again, this is one of those dishes that's really minimal in effort, but pays huge dividends. Big, bold flavors. I'm getting some of the natural lump charcoal. I'm getting the sweetness. I'm getting the vinegar. You know, the lushness of the goose fat, the smoky and salty of the bacon. I'm gonna try one of these, but it's gonna burn the heck out of my mouth. I know it is.
Give it a second, man.
Yeah, but I can't wait. Let me look at this. And as it starts to cool down, all those scruffed potato pieces are gonna start to adhere. Let me show you just a little bit. I'm gonna put a little, I'm gonna scoop a little, and then watch this little potato right here. Watch how it just drapes over the top. And those starches help all those flavors stay on the outside. I'm gonna go get a spoon, and that'll give me the time I need to let this cool down a little bit. Usually I'm a closet eater, but I can't help myself here. The vinegar punch helps kick the fat content, but I still get the lush mouthfeel. This is a great dish. Super easy. Again, once you have all of your ingredients prepped out and you've got your grill on, this is about a 10 to 15 minute cook, okay? And if you make a big enough batch, Hope it lasts 2 days, because that second day is where the magic is. Yeah. All right, team, thanks so much for hanging out with us. If you enjoyed this recipe, we got a whole bunch of other ones you're really gonna love, so go ahead and click on that next video, click the like button, leave us a comment, and folks, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. That's a lot, I'm asking a lot, I know, but again, thanks for hanging out with us. Cheers.